Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We got to go in ahead of us. So today we're going to be doing a trade recap on today's trade, Tuesday, November 19th. We're going to be breaking down the structure, bias leading into the day, the session, the entry, of course, and the reasoning behind that. So let's get straight into the video. Before we get into it, though, I apologize if you guys hear any background noise. I do have a heater on. It is a bit cold, as you guys can see down here. But yeah, let's get straight into it. All right, so leading into the day, I was bearish. I feel like a lot of people were bearish today. I wanted to see this low, previous month's low, October's low, that dump on Friday. I wanted to see that low get swept, taken out. But yeah, so in order, if that's my true draw for the day, in order to see that low get swept, let's talk about now the internal structure that I want to see play out for that low to get swept. I did call it the structure to the T the night before. So let's talk about the structure and how I was reading it and how I was able to call it. And so you guys can do the same. So before I went to bed around right here, like 11:30, 11:20 p.m. PST, so not EST, we were seeing this accumulation phase, right? We're seeing this accumulation phase. And if this is my true draw, this low is my true draw right here, I want to see price manipulate in the opposite way, manipulate back into this range to then see continuation to that true draw. We were delivering from a daily imbalance as well as OT of this range from the previous day, saw continuation. Now, I know you guys are seeing right now, like, oh, crap, we're all the way up here. We did not take out that draw. And yes, we didn't. We did have an S&T with YM at that low. A little unfortunate, but again, we took our trade. We made money. It's fine, right? We'll do buys for tomorrow. But let's just let's break down that structure even further, all right? So this is our accumulation. I'm going to talk to you guys about kind of my thoughts before I went to bed, how I was reading it when I sent out that bias, the outlook. So this is our accumulation, right, at the low of this move. Like I said before, if the true draw is lower, that's what everyone wants to see, right? The true draw is lower. Then, like I said, you're going to expect manipulation the opposite way. Now, the first thing you're going to do when you're expecting manipulation back into a range to rebalance that range is, first thing is fib out the range, right? So when we fib it out, this is our equilibrium. Anything above is premium, and this is our OT, optimal trade entry. So ideally, first thing I'm doing is looking at all the confluences resting within premium of this range, because I'm not really looking for confluences below premium, right? It doesn't really make any sense because we know price, if you know how rebalances work, you're looking in premium. If it is bullish, looking in discount. I have a video on fibs and how to use them, how to mark them out, and how it can be beneficial. If you guys haven't watched that video, go check it out. But yeah, so this 4-hour imbalance we had resting right below OTE of the range. So that's a good area. We also have this buy side, the cumulative ranges, right? The highs. Looks nice, looks really nice. And we have this daily CISD, which never got hit, but that's okay. We also have this deviation range I was looking at. Anything else? Not really. I was anticipating an S&T with the high, which we did get again with YM. You guys can see. I'll show you real quick. Let's see. You can see right here. I think he took out the high, and YM failed too. So that peak right there. So it was an S&T. So yeah, if this was our accumulation, I was anticipating this manipulation back into the range to then see distribution to back to the true draw. Now, I told you guys why we'd even take out these lows. We had that little SMT, not little, prominent, I guess. But here's the one thing that was not ideal. Not every situation is going to be perfect. I wanted to see, but now looking back, it makes sense. I wanted to see this. One second. I wanted to see this this manipulation, this pump happen more during like early morning, like 3 a.m., 5 a.m. pre-market. But it makes sense. Why not? Usually you'll see earlier manipulation when we have high impact news during pre-market. However, we didn't have that today. So we saw that volume kick in during New York Open. And there was a crazy 30-minute PO3 setup we'll talk about. But yeah, so this is our accumulation, and this is our true draw. One more time, you're not going to really anticipate manipulation of these lows to then see higher. Like, that doesn't make any sense, all right? So we'll pop to the 4-hour really quick so I can see that 4-hour imbalance held beautifully. Let's see ISD as well. Okay, so let's look at that 30-minute PO3 entry, and then we'll break down our trade. It's honestly very simple. There's not too much to go over. So let's look at that 30-minute PO3, pop down to the 1 minute. All right, right here. Okay, so going into open, we saw that accumulation. Before, whoops. We saw our accumulation before the opening of New York. And that's typical, right? Usually you'll see accumulation before the opening. And why this is ideal and it's not a bad thing is because typically New York likes to open with a Judah swing, right? A fake out, manipulation, okay? So it makes it even easier to read that 30-minute PO3. So what do we see? We see accumulation before the open, right? We see price open, and where do we dump? We dump, whoops. We dump all the way to rebalance true discount of this range. So what do you see? Accumulation, dump, rebalance, true discount of this range. Now, I actually didn't check if we had an SMT with that low. Let's check really quick. Okay, yeah, YM did take out the low. Okay, so it's a lot of YM, a lot of SMTs with YM today. A little interesting. But okay, so we mitigated true discount of the range, that manipulation leg. Okay. And then you're gonna expect, I'll mark that out for you guys really quick. You're gonna expect bullish distribution back to the cumulative highs. Now, I'm assuming most people did not anticipate price to distribute like it did. But when you're reading, you know, structure on the larger time frames, a bigger scale, this manipulation all the way to true premium of this range is, you're not surprised, right? So I'm not trading this. Now looking back, it wouldn't have been a dumb idea to take longs up to at least premium, but I didn't. I held off. Okay, so let's talk about that entry we took. Okay, so I was waiting for this buy side to get swept. All right, let's mark out the open, the new 4-hour candle. So if you guys don't know, I trade PO3, specifically that 4-hour candle that opens at 10 a.m. Eastern. I like to trade this candle because it holds the majority of, sorry, all right, price cut out. Okay, we're back. It holds the majority of New York AM and then leading into PIMA bit. So there's a lot of structure on it. And yeah, so let's mark out the open really quick. Okay, right here. All right, so we see price open, and I was thinking on the stream, it makes it very easy for us, right? Price opens, it shows no sign of setting in a bottom wick. We just kind of open and start pumping towards these draws. Now, something you want to understand when it comes to the 4-hour PO3 is you're not always going to see price open, accumulate, obvious manipulation, and then distribute in the opposite way. That's an ideal structure, and we do get those here and there, but it's not that likely, or sorry, it's not that common. Usually price will open, have like maybe 5 minutes of accumulation, then go ahead and start putting in that wick. Sometimes we'll see accumulation before the opening, and that's a similar situation to New York 30-minute PO3 with that Judah swing, all that type of stuff. So we see price open and start heading for these draws, that 4-hour imbalance, as well as cut out again. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're back. Price keeps cutting out. Yo. Okay, sorry, I had to take a call there. We're back though. All right, opening. Price manipulates OTE to the tick, bro. It was a very, very quick mitigation. And on our way up, I really liked how the candles were printing. We were showing a lot of rejection to these bearish confluences. That's a good sign, especially when we're reaching, you know, the max expansion. So this was also max expansion from the manipulation leg at open. And then I wanted to see a more prominent SMT, sorry, with one of the highs. And we never got that. We got these ISMTs, but we got, a couple of them, and it was showing a lot of discorrelation between NQ and ES. I think a couple with YM as well. So I'm not taking anything during this area, even though we have mitigated my levels. I waited to see some more bearish confirmation. Now, once I saw price close below the recent pullback low, all right, I was going to take now 1 minute CISD entry. Very, very simple. I don't know where this came from, but that was a 2 minute. Yeah, so you see that 1 minute CISD, ready for price to pull. We held it twice. I still waited. I was like, all right, third pullback. We pulled, entered here, and then I targeted discount of the range because I wasn't too sure if price was going to fully distribute to the lows. I wasn't too sure. I'm going to keep it a buck. I wasn't too sure. So just to play it safe, I was going to target discount, and then if price was going to pull back from OTE, continue higher, we would have taken our profits. We would have been chill. Now, I don't feel any type of way that I missed out on a shit ton of profits. I'm glad I took my trade. I'm glad I secured my profits, and that's just how you have to be. If you have greed and FOMO, you will find yourself, feeling some type of way after seeing price dump a lot. So if you are noticing yourself react that way, fix it, right? Notice that, recognize it, and yeah, stop that, because it's not going to be beneficial. Yeah, so those were the two best setups for the day, in my opinion, that 30-minute PO3 and that 4-hour. You could have, yes, I know some people in the Discord, they held it all the way to the low, and you could have done that. But I was adjusting more personally. All right, last week I took some setups, and I ended up getting break even after price distributing in my favor for a minute, and then after I got break even, price then dumped or pumped straight to my TP. So I was like, I kind of just want to secure profits today. I'm coming off of a dub yesterday, so I wasn't like fiending for profits too hard. I took this trade on props, no live capital. Yesterday's trade on props, no live capital as well. But yesterday's trade was just an alpha. Today I took it on top step and alpha. But yeah, a lot of volume today, right? You see price swinging both ways. And then like I was saying, yeah, we didn't see price never came and took these lows or that main draw I was looking at. Like I told you, because of the SMT with YM, we see this pump all the way back up. But not a bad delivery. Like I showed you guys, that 4-hour held again, and it was previously mitigated, but we still held. And yeah, not a bad trade for today. So we have 2 more days left in the week. I'm expecting good structure for these 2 days as well. If you guys want to see some insight, some bias on what I'm thinking for these 2 days, go ahead and join the Discord. We'll drop a link below, and I'll be dropping a little bias insight for Friday. We have some decently impactful economic news, so it should be fun, should be good. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the trade recap. If you guys don't know what PO3 is, I definitely recommend you guys look into it. Whether you like to trade market open, you can use a 30-minute, or you like more structured trades, more prominent, if you will, you can look at that 4-hour. But yeah, it's going to wrap it up for today's video. We will catch you guys in the next. Everyone stay safe, trade smart, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.